Can I just ask you one other question on that? Because we talk about it all the time, especially on the right. And I too am a working mom and always have been. I've been a professional woman since I graduated from college or law school. But now there's, I think, a good thing, which is like the restoration of valuing so-called traditional, moms, and that's great. The women who take care of their kids full time. Most of my best friends are doing exactly that. But it seems like in the right, there's like a bit of a shift toward like, you can't do what Karoline's doing. That's actually like an unsafe or a dangerous or a bad choice for families, for children, which I reject wholesale, but you hear it more and more.
Yeah.
Do you hear that, and what do you think of it?
I would reject that it's a bad choice. Is it a tough choice? Absolutely. As a mother, you want to be with your child 24/7. You have that maternal instinct.
27.
Yeah. Not all the time. Well, right now, yes, because he's 7 months and just squishy and lovable, but I'm sure that will change. But you do have that maternal instinct, but also recognizing like, I'm doing this work for my son and for all children to make this country better. And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yes. It's also it's temporary, right? In 4 years, my son will be 4 years old and the president will no longer be at the White House. And then I'll move on and do something else. But, this chaos of 24/7 work is a temporary matter. And that's what at least I tell myself to get through these very long and hard days. But I would reject that you can't be a good mom and be good at your job. I think you can do both. It it's not for everybody. And it takes a lot of work and will and faith and prayer. And it's hard, but it can be done. And, I would reject that.
We can't chase our great conservative moms out of the workforce.
Right.
Then we get rid of you. We get rid of Katie Britt. We get rid of Usha Vance.
Right.
Like this is not the way. Amy Coney Barrett is not on the Supreme. Like that should not be the place the conservative movement lands.
I agree.
All right. So now you start as White House press secretary, and were you thrilled to get that invitation?
Of course, yes. I was very humbled and honored, and I was campaigning, with the president over the past year through the court trials. We sat in that courthouse in Manhattan with the Bragg trial, so many rallies, and we worked so damn hard to win that election.
You must have really wrestled with how you were going to meet the high bar set by Karine Jean-Pierre. Was that? Sorry. Was that out loud? No, she was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So how has your approach differed, would you say?
I think it's vastly different. And if you ask people, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record. Oh. Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings, and everybody on our team, by the way, who goes out to the cameras and speaks. We have great policy experts who are great spokespeople for the president, and they appreciate the information that they're being given. They're also exhausted, by the way, because we are doing so much.
And not even in a wussy, sad little way. Like, they must be exhausted because it's just it's nonstop.
It's insane, yes.
So who's your least favorite?
Well, I did have a bit of a tiff this morning outside with our friend Peter Alexander at NBC News. So
it was great. We'll drop in a clip of it where he was really pressing you on whether there's going to be criminal prosecutions for this alleged fraud and the waste, fraud, and abuse.
According to an IG report from the Social Security Administration, there was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year. And it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money. Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the press.
You said something that wasn't true, which is you said that they have found before that they believe there have been tens of millions of people who are receiving money who are dead on the Social Security list. The same report that you referred to said that almost
Peter.
none of those individuals are receiving
Peter, did you watch
money.
the full clip of the interview that I did
watch
when I
the
said
clip
that?
and you played it, correct.
And I said there are a lot of unanswered questions, and we suspect there could be tens of millions of
And
people.
I'm saying the IG report
So
says
you
that
just said
almost none
what
of
I
them.
said is not true. In fact, it was true. That's a suspicion that this administration has, and we're committed to finding out the truth.
It perplexes me and also infuriates me why the media continues to make excuses for our government spending billions and billions of dollars in wasteful money.
Right.
Maybe they don't mind, but I know there's millions of people watching that do mind. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing with Doge.
It was a pretty incredible exchange where it was like 71 billion has been spent on fraudulent payments, and he's like, "Oh, but that was over many years." Well,
Does it
you're
matter?
Like, hello,
There's one report that showed $71 billion. What are you talking about?
eyes on the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's good. I'm glad to hear the NBC guys out. Good choice.
Sorry, Peter.
How do you prepare? Because you can't know everything,
No.
and you could get asked anything. And unlike Karine Jean-Pierre, you're not out there reading and furiously flipping through your tabs to try to find an answer somebody
Right.
else has written for you.
Yeah.
So how are you preparing?
So I did prepare a binder for the first briefing. My great assistant, Keegan, put it together. And then I showed up to work, and it was like this thick. And I was like, I can't
No way.
even move this. I can't use this. It was too cumbersome for my brain and the way I learn and think and study to have that. It felt like added weight. And I said, I want to just go in there and speak from my mind and from my heart.
Like your boss.
Like my boss. And I've been working for my boss now on the campaign. I know the policies we're enacting. We've been talking about them for years. And in school, I was that way. Like studying, I would just read, highlight, memorize, articulate.
And then it goes off to the side.
Yeah.
And you talk.
Exactly. And so that's been my method of preparation.
No nerves?
The first briefing, I was certainly nervous. I think any human would, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
But it must have been cool, too, to get up there.
It was. Once I got up there, I realized, okay, I can do this.
I can do
I
this.
know what I need to know. And now I feel very, comfortable and confident. And, I will never get complacent because I understand the weight of the responsibility on my shoulders speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. So I remain as prepared today as I was on that first day. And I hope that's true 4 years from now. We have amazing people in that building who are so smart and know everything about every topic, and I rely on them. I call Stephen Miller or Mike Waltz's team
Great.
or Kevin Hassett all the time, and I'm like, please explain this to me because I don't understand, but you do. So what's going on?
We continue to face uncertainty when it comes to the economy, with a perfect storm brewing as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point as the largest generation is hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. You pair that with our growing national debt and rising cost of living, and we could have a big problem. So what are you doing now to protect your family for the future? Gold can be a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and it does not cost you 1 cent out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text MK to 989898, get your free info kit on gold, and get a copy of the Ultimate Guide for Gold in the Trump Era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, just information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. Just text my initials MK to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.